How much energy do it take for you to think about somebody else in a negative light and be mad or angry or get emotional about them?
How does
How
that?
much energy did it take, bro?
How does it? How much does it alter you though? Like it changes your mood.
It changes your whole
If
mood,
you're
your
a
day.
positive person and you think about something negative, that negative thought leads to another negative thought leads
Yeah.
to another negative thought.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
sure.
So
Truth is, can't nobody stop us. Truth is, can't nobody stop us.
Yo, what's good? This is your boy Austin Carter,
and this is Lee.
and welcome to Mentality, where you're gonna get everything you need and it's free. So, how you feeling, bro? I want to start this off a little different, bro. Like, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling great as usual, bro. I can't complain. What about you, man? You good?
I'm doing pretty good, but on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your mental health at right now?
I would say it's about a 7 or 8. You know, I wouldn't say it's just the best or perfect. You know, we got room for that, but you know, definitely can use some work.
I would like to start it off with that right there, just seeing how my brother's doing. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Good that
Yeah.
you a 7. I think I'm about a 7 too.
Yeah, I think that's a good number, especially the world we live in now. I think
Yeah.
that's a good number to have.
And nobody's perfect at the end of the day,
Right,
so I feel like
absolutely.
that, what I'm saying, as long as you're above 4 or 5, you know what I'm saying, I think
Right.
you're doing pretty well.
Right.
And but today, bro, I'm kind of excited about
What we
this
got
one.
today, man? Tell them.
Man, I feel like that we should really kick the show off talking about generational curses.
Man, generational curses. So let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into
It's
it.
a real spooky topic for a lot of
It
people
is, it
because
is. Lot of
breaking
touchiness.
generation curses
Right.
is what we talk about a lot, and trying to break generation curses, but like no one really talks about how they form, how they start.
How they start, bro. So go ahead and give us the breakthrough for generational curses. How does generational curses start?
Well, in my own opinion, I feel like generational curses start through our ancestors, and it start through the people that had come before us.
Right.
For example, like, and I'm gonna speak on like the close generations, like my mother's generation, my grandmother. My grandmother was a hardworking woman. She
Absolutely.
worked 12-hour shifts, stayed on her feet at a factory for
Right.
years. She worked herself down physically, and she was still the type of person to go home and still cook. My grandma was a rock. She was the type of person that she would go take care of everybody in the community, anybody.
Wow, right.
You know what I mean? But what she lacked, in my opinion, was the knowledge of how to be able to be efficient in ways monetarily, and
Right.
how to conserve and preserve her body, and also benefit with teaching her children how to be able to like get the most out of their life. I feel like that's probably was something that she lacked, was the knowledge. So I feel like that generation curses start from the lack of knowledge, not knowing how to be able
Right.
to like navigate through life effectively.
I agree. I agree to a certain extent, and I also think it's being unaware of things and how they work. You know what I'm saying? Because like the lack of knowledge is one thing, but being unaware of it also leads you to not even opening that can of worms and say, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So usually, like I can say from my perspective, those generational curses started from learned behaviors, and
Okay.
those learned behaviors progress over generations. And those generations, as we were taught, hey, listen to your elders. This is how it goes. I've been down that road before. Kind of like let me instill fear in you a little bit to keep you from bumping your head and making those mistakes that might make you better or might make you not, but you'll never learn from yourself. So you usually take that information from, somebody who gave it to you.
So give me some examples of a quote unquote curse that you had to overcome, or that you are overcoming now, that you have learned or developed or even inherited, in your own opinion, from like your families or generations before you. What were those things that you're dealing with or still dealing with or trying to get over now that you're trying to break? Is there a few examples you can give us?
Yeah, absolutely. One of them is fear of failure. You know what I'm saying? Like when I grew up, it was You know, there's a lot of things around failure. You know, we had what we had. We worked hard to get that. So now it's like hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? So now that started to trickle down to like me investing in myself, me investing in things that can, you know, project me forward in my future.
Right.
My fear of investing because I had to hold on to what I worked hard for was really holding me back, and it was a limitation to me.
When you say hold on, you talking about like money, or you talking
Just-
about what?
Just anything, you know, anything that you work hard to get. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if that's a house, you know, if your house was an
You
investment,
keep that.
you're gonna keep this house
forever.
for 30, 50, 70 years. Even if it was the first house you ever got, you're gonna keep it and you're gonna live in it. And this is all we, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what the generation had before. They probably couldn't get houses, so when they did get houses, they stayed in those houses for the rest
So
of their
you
life.
saying if you know what I'm saying, you saying like the mindset that was trickled down to you was like, listen, go buy you an affordable house, and let's just theoretically say a $30,000 house. And when we think about a $30,000 house, we ain't thinking about no lavish house.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about cracks in the floor.
This
I'm
back
talking
in the
about
day, yeah.
I'm talking about a house that was just
Right.
like barely standing.
Right.
But it was like, okay, you get this house, you work hard for it, and you don't never get rid of it. I don't care what the circumstance was.
No
It's
matter
like
how-
hold on to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And hold on to it. And even financially, right? You work hard for your money. Hold on to it. Don't spend it. You know, why are you spending it? And those psychological effects that you have in your head that somebody instilled in you, you take those and carry them into other things in your life as well, you know. So along the way, you miss a lot of opportunities like that, you know, a lot of opportunities where you could have invested in yourself or spent that money, you know, like, and it's not the case for everybody, but for I think most people, I think they're so afraid to lose money because it takes so much effort to save it. You know what I'm saying?
I can kind of see that. Some of my things that I'm still trying to get over and really trying to learn is like, you know, and this might be small to some people, but learning how to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
I come from an unforgiving family in the sense to where if you hurt them or if you did something to them, and they hold on to that forever.
Yeah, it's a grudge.
They be at the cookouts
grudges,
like,
bro.
like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really messing with
And
folks
it could
over
be
there.
10 years ago that
10
happened.
years ago, and it can be like, bro, y'all done had grandchildren or kids, and it's just like kids that grew up, but people hold on to that, and I feel like that, you know what I'm saying, with my family, I'm still learning how to deal with that and navigate through that, because when you hurt someone, in my family, man, they hold that against you. You know what I mean? And they're like, they hold it against you to a fact to where they don't even talk to each other for real. Like, they don't even come around. They don't even like, they don't even really fool with each other. We'll be at like certain gatherings and stuff like that, and like they'll just be like looking side eye, and it really causes a ripple in the family simply because we don't know how to forgive.
I just think that that energy is passed along. You know what I'm saying? Because people pick up on that.
Bro, I was talking to my girl, and she was like really like making apparent to me that forgiving is more so for yourself than them.
Absolutely.
Because you just said energy. Think about how much energy it take to be mad or angry at somebody. Think about when you see that person, how it make you feel. And that person cannot be doing nothing to you, be walking by you, and you just like, oh, I can't stand that person.
Exactly.
It takes you more energy to really be mad or to be unforgiving towards someone else, and it's really more detrimental to yourself. Because that person cannot even be thinking about you at the time. As soon as you hear their name, you're like, oh, that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
So I'm really learning how to like navigate through my feelings and my emotions of like being unforgiving, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm learning now that like I'm giving all this wasted energy to someone that probably ain't even thinking about me right now.
Right, absolutely, bro.
You know what I mean?
And I think the most powerful thing you can do is just be you, right? And if I can put out positivity, even in a negative situation, that just reflects what I have inside me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What I feel internally, you can't control me. Like, I think it was Mike Tyson said, if you let somebody control you or alter how you feel, then they become your master. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, I can't let nobody alter me or change me. You know, no matter what happened before, we can forgive each other. We can talk. You don't have to forgive me, but I forgive you. And I'm not necessarily doing that for you, but I'm doing that for me. Because everything that you have on the inside is a reflection of the outside. So whatever I'm feeling internally, that's what I'm going to project.
Man, I get that so much. So like, what are some things that people can really work on to start that process of breaking generational curses? Because, you know, it's kind of like a cliche thing, like I'm going to break generation curses, but how do you break that? Do you just stop doing it, or do you like how do you learn how to stop doing something that's been trickled down from generations to generations? How do you break that chain?
The first thing that popped in my head is acceptance, right? So you accept what can't be. So just say like with somebody that, like, okay, you can't be a millionaire. You can't do this because nobody has ever done it. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of breaking that cycle to say like, okay, well, why? What made you not do what you do? Or what made you not hit the result that you wanted to hit? And now I got to start asking myself why too. Is my block is what they have for them? So if that's what they have for them and I'm putting that on me, then I'm not even living for myself. I'm living vicariously through somebody else's world.
That's really dope that you said that, because at the end of the day, I feel like that in order for us to really like break it, I feel like that we have to be forgiving to the ones that came before us. And you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like, we now hold them to a standard of like, oh, y'all should have, or my mama would have, or my daddy would have. But sometimes they don't even know. So being forgiving, and then I think forgiving what your parents or the generation to become, I think that's how you start, because a lot of times we hold their feet to the fire because they didn't teach us or they didn't help us. But at the end of the day, forgive the people, forgive the generation, forgive your ancestors, forgive your parents, forgive your grandmother, because they knew all that they knew, and they might not have the same opportunities that we have. So I think it all starts with forgiveness first, man.
Right. So just say after forgiveness, right? Just say I forgave somebody and they continuously treat me the same way, how they treated me before we forgave each other. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you deal with somebody's negative energy towards you after the fact? Like, I think that plays a big role.
You got to divorce them. Now, let me be very, very clear. Sometimes in life, you have to divorce your family. That doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that you don't wish the best for them. But sometimes you have to divorce the people in your life that means you no good, bro. And it has to be a collective effort. But when both of y'all come together as a collective and y'all decide we're going to treat each other better, we're going to, work towards being better for each other, then and only then it can come together and work. But sometimes you have to divorce that situation or those people until both of y'all come together, back together. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just gotta.
There's nothing wrong with
sometimes you gotta separate, bro. And I think that separation sometimes makes you realize if that person is valuable, they'll mean that much to you to where you want to do it, and hopefully they do too. But like, it just gives you the time that you need to look at it from a different perspective, because sometimes you don't know that the fire is burning you when you're in the fire. Sometimes you have to like get outside of the sense, look at it from a a person point of view, and realize like, okay, I'm getting burnt.
Right.
I'm literally getting burnt up by fire, but I can't see it because I'm in the fire. Sometimes you have to like take a step back from a third person point of view and realize what you're going through.
Right.
So sometimes it takes that.
And I do kind of agree, like temporary divorce, right?
Sure.
I know like some in some instances divorce can be final. Divorce is like separation.
For sure.
But one thing my uncle taught me, he said certain positions in your life, or you can't replace those positions. Like if I'm your father, if I'm your brother, like there's nothing you can do to replace that position. Now if you're my friend or you're my associate or something like that, yeah, that's pretty more replaceable than that.
Right.
So when it comes to family, when it comes to like disputes or disagreements, I think just taking a step back, both parties, and just kind of saying like what really matters, because that's one of my stories that kind of set with me is like if this person passed away, would I care at their funeral? And if I would, then the situation that happened probably isn't that crucial.
Right. But only if you care though, for real.
Yeah. Now if you
know
care,
what I mean?
yeah. If you don't, then that's a different story.
Divorce definitely can be temporary, but sometimes I feel like in certain situations, people kind of like let it be final because they can't really get past that forgiveness stage.
Right.
People won't forgive people, so things will never change. And I feel like sometimes when we give that negative energy of not forgiving and holding that to the person, I think it's more detrimental to you. Think about this right now, bro.
What you got?
How much energy do it take for you to think about somebody else in a negative light and be mad or angry or get emotional about them? How much energy did it take, bro?
How much does it alter you though? Like it changes your mood.
It changes your whole mood.
If you're a positive person and you think about something negative, that negative thought leads to another negative thought, leads to another negative thought. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So now you consumed in it. You know, that positive stuff is out the window.
For sure.
You know, so now you got to start being mindful of, you know what I'm saying, what you take in. Like, you can take in somebody's energy and now you feeling like how they feel.
Yeah, that's
You're
for
not
sure.
even you now.
That's for sure. I want you to give me a story of a time that you had to forgive someone, but it was like really tough for you, but you end up making it through. Or did you even forgive them? Like, give me a time when you really had to learn how to forgive, and what was the situation and why?
Man, it was a family member. Man, we had some financial disputes.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? And it, you know, financial, it's not that big of an impact to me. You know, I think family is more important than money, but at a certain time, I feel like it's how you handle that situation. You know, so you know, it was kind of like a braggadocious way of saying that, you know, the portion that I was supposed to receive from, you know, whatever situation, you know, was spent without my knowledge.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold the phone, wait.
Stop the press.
You know what I'm saying?
You said, now I could be wrong. I just want you to kind of clarify this for me. You know, and no disrespect to no one out there, but
absolutely.
Someone was bragging that the portion that you put in was spent, like gone.
So you know how that'll leave somebody feeling. Now you got some resentment in you. You know what I'm saying? I've absorbed all that. I'm like, oh, it's up now. You know what I'm saying? I know cap is up now. You know what I'm saying?
It's transform on you.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Hold on,
like,
man. Let me take off this real quick. They're getting out of here. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with me, you know,
That's
my family is they hold grudges. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, I love my family to death, but you know, call a spade a spade. They do hold grudges, but I learned how to hold grudges, and you know, for the longest I was okay with, you know, not ever talking to this person, divorcing this person, and never,
for sure,
you know, never remarrying or whatever you want to call it. But it took me to become humble when, you know, my grandmother, who I love dearest, she came to me and she asked me wholeheartedly. She said, "Go make it right." But that's her grandmother, you know what I'm saying? She's not only did she say go make it right, but she said, "Do it for me."
Oh, hey, that's the body shot. Mike Tyson just hit me with an uppercut. Bro, think about where your pride was before she said that, and think about where it fell to when she said that.
So now I gotta be the initiator though, because I'm doing it for granny now.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta be the bigger person.
Yeah, absolutely. But they taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? That taught me that nobody else can control Lee Anthony. I can control me and how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And that no situation is that bad to where, you know, it causes a fallout with family.
Right.
Financial, because it always come back. You always have financial gain. You always have monetary gain, if that's the situation. You know what I'm saying? But I learned to forgive and to understand people for who they are. You know what I'm saying? And not project who I want them to be onto them. So in that token, that's how I learned forgiveness, and I learned how to, you know, kind of break that cycle, break those habits, and just really be the bigger person, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's not as bad as we make it seem.
Bro, how hard is that to let that slide though in that moment? Because like,
I
understand that you did it, but like, I want you to go deeper than that. How hard was it for you to just to let go and just like forgive and go initiate it? How hard? Like, explain that moment to me. Like your thought, like what was going through your head? What was you feeling?
Me being present, right? My thoughts are running wild. Like every thought that you can think of, like, okay, you got a positive input, go do it, go make it right. But you got all these negative thoughts running. Like, man, we ain't finna make nothing, you know? So next, like, which one I go with? You know what I'm saying? So now you kind of battling a little bit, but initially, bro, it's like, nah.
Did you ever think of a negative response or negative feedback from the person if you would have went or before you went to go like make it right, you like play in your head like, what if this person was like like shun me off or something. Like, did you ever have them thoughts?
Them the same thoughts is valid. That's what making me battle like this. Is like, okay, what if they react like that? Because then now I'm have to come back out of character, which I'm still trying. I ain't saying perfect. But I'm trying though. I'm trying.
Transformer.
And actually, when I went to go talk to that person, it played out just like how you said.
What? It did what?
It played out just like how you said.
Come on, bro. No. Come on, bro.
And then it just brought me back to what I was thinking about. You shouldn't have did it. Your mind reverses stuff you shouldn't have did.
You can't just slide over there, bro. What? No, tell me to stop. If you can anyway.
I got you.
It played out like you thought. So tell me. So explain that, bro.
So how you just I won't go into details. It's a personal story. But how you try to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And you go to that person humbly. And you say, hey, you mind if we talk? Simple.
Yeah.
And they, yeah, whatever. What?
Oh,
but you know what I'm saying? Now, now it's coming to self-control now, So,
yeah.
But that teaches you so many different lessons about you.
So he was like, yeah, whatever. Like he was whatever to that person.
Yeah, whatever. We talk. Whatever. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You do the talking, though.
Come on. This pretty much just make you feel small. You felt that big.
Bro.
You felt that big, didn't
bro.
you?
I felt that big, bro. I said, you know what? It's bigger than me. Grandmama asked me.
Yeah. And
Anything for grandmama.
Hey, brother shriveled up to about that big, bro. Me and brother about that big.
Bro, like an ant, bro. Like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, and then the conversation, bro, like,
bruh, I would have been like, nah, bruh. I feel played.
Man, bro, yeah. But I'm so big on family, bro. I'm a big forgiver. Like, I learned how to be a forgiver from that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't about that person. You know what I'm saying? It's about me. I don't want to harbor things in me to lower my vibration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I vibrate high, you gonna feel that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, now you bringing me down to your level. I gotta absorb that and harbor that in me every time a thought about whatever situation remind me of that. I don't want that in me, man. So,
bro, but like, there's a real learning point from that, because even though the reaction or response wasn't what you initially probably wanted or what you thought it should be, the main important thing is that it got done. Even if that person wasn't as receptive or even didn't even do it, you made peace with yourself. And I feel like that's what the silver lining is, because we just talked about how much energy does it take to be mad at somebody,
Too much.
You telling me
be mad at somebody for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you telling me that someone have control over how I'm feeling. Somebody can flip a switch in my own body and make me mad or sad or emotional just over what they did to me. I feel like the most important thing is that you made peace with it and you're fine with it. Bygones be bygones, Right. And I feel like that's the lesson that I want to tell people, is that sometimes you have to forgive, and not only forgive people, but forgive yourself. Right. Because a lot of times we forget how to forgive ourselves in a situation because we allow ourselves to be broken out of character. Kevin Gates say this in his song, or he says this a lot, like, don't let no one trick you out of your position.
Your position.
And what that means to me is, like, if I'm a person that's happy, if I'm a person that has this going on, I can't let someone trigger my emotions to make me mad, to go punch them in the face, to go now go lose friendships, sponsorships, business, or whatever the case. I can't let nobody trick me out of my position.
Right.
Because all they doing is just playing on my emotions, and I'm allowing them to. Right. This person got to control. It's like playing the game. Mm-hmm. I feel like that we can't be controlled by other people. We have to be in control of our emotions. So that was the best thing that I took from that story, is that even though you necessarily didn't want to do it, but you allowed yourself to, and what you gained was peace of mind. So now, moving forward, you're able to like navigate through other situations with the same temperament. Like, well, I might not necessarily want to right now, but I'm gonna do it for me.
Right.
Because I'm gonna forgive you for me, because I don't want this hold over myself. Right. And I feel like that's really important.
No, it is important, man. And I kind of want you to tell me your side of the story too. tell me when you had to forgive somebody and it took something out of you to forgive them.
Man, bro, where do I begin? So I had this friend in college, a real good friend of mine, and they stole some money from me.
Ooh,
And-
yeah. Okay,
and,
all right.
and you know, in college, bro, you ain't really got much. You ain't really standing on a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like you call it home, like, Mom, I need $10. Like this was before Cash App, by the way.
Oh,
This was like
yeah.
when you had to go to Walmart or wishing you need to go fill out the thing.
MoneyGram,
yeah,
yeah.
MoneyGram. So like this was before all that. So like being able to get sent some money to you, man, it was a hassle. You had to find a ride. I ain't had no car. You had to find a ride. You had to go make your way to Walmart or Western Union, MoneyGram to go get these things. And
Cash it.
yeah, so like it was already a house. So and then you take it away from people that care about you, that's willing to send you that money.
Right.
So, the money came up missing, so to speak. But I knew where I put it. Right. I knew I put it in a certain spot, and there was only one person that day that was in my room. Wow. And the crazy thing about it, I had left the room and came back. So I knew that person was in there for a time being, right? So like, here's the funny thing about the story, right? We went to McDonald's. Tell me why this person paid for my food, because I thought I lost my money.
Yo, you stop. Wait, pause, bro. So this is after the fact.
After the fact, bro. Bro, think about this, bro. In college, bro, it's probably like 11 o'clock. Hungry, bro. I'm talking about like I need some food. You hear
Yo,
me? I need something to
that's
eat.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like looking frantic everywhere. Like I know I put my money in this drawer. It's gone. So, bruh come back. Bruh, I got you.
He said, I got you.
I got you. Don't worry
friend,
about
bro.
it. Now keep in mind, it's at McDonald's when a burger $1 was truly $1. So he wasn't giving me much of my money.
We still
back.
have much
But
though.
still though,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't had nothing.
Yeah.
But I know this person. This person ain't had nothing either. So I found it kind of odd that he would just happen to have money, and then you know what I'm saying. After all this was said and done, bro, bro paid for my lunch, my food at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying. And this is how I know he took it, right?
How you find out?
Bruh, after he paid for the food, you know what I'm saying, we ate or whatever, we walking back to the school, bro.
Yeah.
I say, bruh, how you get some money?
Oh, you just came
You know what
straight
I'm-
out.
Hey, straight out.
You came straight out, bro.
Straight out, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even accusing my time. I'm like, bruh, where you get that money from?
Yeah.
Bro say, so-and-so gave it to me. So another person there, a good friend, like, oh, why he give you money?
Oh, yeah. Stuttering and shit.
Yeah. So I said, bro, don't even worry about it, bro. So man,
Yeah.
we left. I doubted him. All right, bro, I'll see you later. I go to bro that he say gave him the money. I say, bro, you gave such and such some money?
It's a little bread.
How much money you give him? I ain't give bro nothing.
Yeah, everybody got it.
He like, hey, bro, I ain't give bro nothing. I ain't even got $10 or a pot to pee
That's
in.
what I'm saying.
He was like, bro, I don't know what bro talking about. So me knowing me, I say, bro's the last person. I'm gonna go to him as a man. I say, bro,
Yeah.
keep it 100, bro. Did you take the money or not?
Right.
Nah, bro, I swear, bro.
Oh,
Bro
they
gave
gonna
it to
put it
me,
on
bro.
everything they
Everything,
love.
bro. Everything I love.
Everything I love.
On Big G. I'm just like, all right, bro.
You gotta do all of that, bro.
But bro just told me he ain't give you nothing. So how do you get this money? All right, bro. I took it. I ain't had nothing to eat. I was really hungry. This, that, and the third, bro. Keep in mind, bro. When somebody play you like you're dumb
In your face, though.
in your face, and you allow this person in your position, bro. Think about how mad I was, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Think about
I
how
get
mad
it.
I was, bro.
I get it, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, I stole off on him. I'm just gonna be honest, just young and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, disclaimer.
Hey, listen, big disclaimer, we do not want
not
no violence.
condone.
We don't promote violence.
Don't let
nothing.
nobody play with you.
You know what I mean? We don't do none of that. But after the fact, man,
Yeah.
I just remember just having to like be the bigger person because we was all in the same social group, same friend group, and I felt like that it caused a strain with all our friends. So I felt like, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna forgive him for me because every time this person came around, I couldn't stand to hear their name. I couldn't stand there. I couldn't stand to even be around that person.
Right.
But I ended up doing it for me simply because at the end of the day, I felt like that I didn't want this hold over me. You feel me? Like I didn't want
exactly.
this person to have this hold over me, and I didn't want to be mad at this person for making a mistake because yes, they stole, yes, they lied. I felt like that at the end of the day, you should always forgive people and give them the opportunity to make it right. So that's what I did. So that was a time that was really hard for me because in the midst of that, like I couldn't be around this person. I'm talking about like, I see this person in the cafeteria, and I'm just like, I gotta go the way. I would see this person around hooping, like I ain't hooping today. So like I always felt like that was the most important thing for me to like overcome, simply because I had to like set my feelings aside and just give that person the opportunity to make it right. You know?
Right. So let me ask you this question: do you think you can forgive and forget, or forgive but not forget? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I don't think I can ever forget. And I think that you're not supposed to, because that's where your growth and wisdom come from.
Okay,
because
I
how are you able to give someone else the knowledge that they need to get past a similar situation if you'd have forgot it? You know what I mean?
But I was listening to Steve Harvey. He said, if you forgive somebody and still hold on to the hurt, then you really haven't forgiven that person. You know what I'm saying? So that gave me a different perspective. If every time I'm reminded, this is how I forgave somebody, right? And if every time I'm reminded of what the hurt it was that they did, do I still feel those same feelings from unforgivingly? I can't allow anybody to have that kind of access to alter me and my perception and how I live my life, you know?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I feel like that's the most important thing. So like today's message is learn how to forgive, not only people, but yourself. And with forgiveness, that's when you start that journey of healing. So that's the thing that we want to try to do the best to try to leave off with value, give you guys value. I really like today's episode, man. I really feel like that we gave some real gems and like really gave some good testimonies with what we've been through. And I feel like that whoever sees this, whoever gets this message, it's really gonna help them progress in life.
I definitely feel like it's gonna help them progress in life, and I think it's gonna give them a different perspective from, you know, the vast majority of what everybody might feed into. Like, never forgive, you know. So hopefully this give a different perspective. Hopefully this open somebody's eyes up, and you know, we just want to give some free game on mentality.
Free game, yeah. So man, thank y'all for tuning in with the best in the West to the East, to the South, to the North, with, you know what I'm saying, Austin Carter.
And this is Lee.
And I feel like if y'all tune in, y'all gonna get some free game, and it's free. So appreciate you, my brother.
Hey man, appreciate you.
Much love. You know what I'm saying? We coming back at y'all every Wednesday. We gonna try to drop some new content, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Y'all lock in. And hey, mind over matter.
That way.
Truth is, can't nobody stop us. Truth is, can't nobody stop us.